This is Relay Talk with your host, DKEN. My plans for this podcast are to go through and follow the second Minecraft Relay Cup. I want to keep things simple, casual, keep the episodes short. And if you haven't noticed by now, this is episode 1. So we're just going to go through all 16 games and pick a winner for each of them. These are just my predictions, what I think. I'm kind of a boomer at my career arc for Minecraft speedrunning. I have kind of gone back into it thanks to this tournament. So there's going to be a lot of names that I don't really know. In fact, I'm looking at the list now. It's like a third of these people that I really have no idea who they are. They're all Zoomers, means they're irrelevant to me anyway. And so, without wasting any more of your time, I'm just going to dive right into it. So the first game that's going to be played is February 23rd, 1400 UTC, and that is against the 11th seed Hot Tourists with Niu. I think that's how you say it. Microventure Nice Twice against this 20th seeded team, Team Korea with Temp, Zeduri, and HRU. I know 2-3 of these names. I think I know Temp, maybe. And I definitely know Microventure and Nice Twice. Those two are pretty big Minecraft speedrunning veterans. I think when it comes to just deciding who's going to win all these games, being not necessarily a big name, but like a runner that's been running for quite a long time is going to be a huge advantage to have like one of those runners on your team. Just because like there's a lot of things that you can't get just by learning the game real fast, and that's experience. Although I will say none of those two players are playing in their, I'd say, like main category. I think they both are the most comfortable in 1.16, and neither of them are playing that version. Microventure is doing 1.9 to 1.15, and Nice Twice is doing pre 1.9. I have popped into Nice Twice's streams a little bit as he's practicing for Relay, and yeah, man, he's not really happy with where he's at right now. I think when it comes to playing a version, I hate to say it, but like when you pick up a version just to play in a tournament, it's going to be a little bit tough, obviously, to get yourself situated. I think Nice Twice is kind of in that situation. I remember he did play 1.7 in the previous tournament, and his team did pretty well. They went 3-2 and finished 9th overall, which is pretty good. He did that with his brother Microventure as well. So I think if it comes to a team that has experience, it's going to be this team, Hot Tourists. At least in their first matchup against Team Korea. Again, I only know like Temp kind of, and the other two names I've never really heard of. I'm sure they're good. I don't know. I mean, if you're the 20th seed, I guess I do have to favor Hot Tourists here. So I'm gonna pick them. They are favored by 4 minutes, and I do think they're going to beat them by over 4 minutes. So we will take that. The next game after that is on the 24th, so the day right after at 1300 UTC. The 16th seed Rockin' Balls with Haid, Mishbanya, Hinart. I hope I'm saying those correctly. God, I feel like a substitute teacher reading all these like crazy names, and I can't say a single one of them correctly. Against the 21st seed, The Juice with Ben Does Live, Alex, but with a Y. Again, I don't really know any of these names. In fact, I know 0 of them. I know a total of 0. So it's just going to be a coin flip for me. I think when it comes to 16 seed versus 21, those are basically the same team. I mean, they're the same skill level pretty much. I like Rockin' Balls. I love their name. But I think let's see here. When it comes to which team is actually favored, I do believe that the Juice is favored by about 3 minutes and a half. I don't really know why, because usually underdogs are pretty hard to find when it comes to like who is seated higher and who's going to win. But I'll just go with the Juice. I mean, if people say that they're going to win, let's do it. I think they. I don't know. As it comes to the margin of victory, I guess it'll be above 330. A lot of these games will not be close, and that's because there's just going to be a ton of deaths. Because no one knows how to play this game, even in tournaments. Let's be honest here, especially people have no idea who they are. I'll say the Juice wins with a margin of victory above 330, so they will cover that spread. The next game after that, same day at 20 o'clock UTC. This ninth seed Team Blood Trail with Automat, Zajac, and X Lorex against the 23rd team. Some kind of their team name is a Spanish phrase, which I cannot say because I don't want to look completely like an idiot. But yeah, that's their that's their team name. Team Spanish with Santa, Sergi Tasson, and Pato Cesar. I know Automat and Xlore X, and that's kind of it. I know Santa, but not for the same reason as you might think. I'm gonna go with Team Blood Trail here. I mean this one is kind of an easy prediction. Team Blood Trail is favored by 5 minutes and 15 seconds, which is kind of a lot. I think that does really say kind of where the Team Blood Trail is coming from. I know Automat has been in a ton of tournaments, so if anyone knows how to play tournaments correctly, especially what you do in like the first round where like competition isn't crazy, I think Automat is going to show up. I know Lord X is a great player. I just can't say really the same thing for anyone else I see because I don't know who these people are. I mean, I'm a boomer. What can I say? But yeah, they are favored by kind of a lot. I mean, it's a huge 5 minutes. It's more than you think. I think I'm gonna go with man. No, yeah, it's gonna be more than 5 minutes of separation. I think. I think Team Blood Trail is gonna cover those 5 minutes. I think it's gonna be a bit of a blowout. I'll say for this game. The next one could be subject to rescheduling, but on the 25th of February at 1800 UTC, we have the 6th seed Team Zatch with Isotroph, Doug, Pixfumi, and the 25th seed Team T-Wags with the T-Wags, Hama, T-Wags, and BJR. Wow. Okay, so I know every single name here, which means this is going to be a great game. I'm surprised Team T-Wags is at the 25th seed, but I mean, I don't think it's too much of a big difference. I think Hama and BGR were on the same team last time with Cisco, I believe, and they finished third in the first Relay Cup. So I think just subbing in T-Wags just for one spot, I think that's going to be good enough. T-Wags doesn't really strike me as the fastest guy when you put him in front of the keyboard and mouse, but I think he's going to do fine. I believe he's consistent enough not to make some stupid decision, some dumb risk that I know a lot of people will make. I think it's going to be a way closer game than the seeding suggests it will. As for who is favored, Team Zatch is favored by 5 minutes 15 seconds. I think that's an overestimate. I think this is going to be one of the closest games. And it's very close in skill, although I'm kind of conflicted. I don't really know how close this game will truly be. Man. Okay, so I'm gonna go with yikes. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm taking Team T-Wags. I know BJar's incredible in a tournament setting. He is playing pre 1.9, but I mean I trust him. Hama is really great at 1.16, and I think this Team T-Wags team, wow, this Team T-Wags team is really consistent. I think despite their seeding, they have a lot of potential. So I'm taking Team T-Wags. I think they win. The next game is the 5th seed, the Magnificent Three with Hoffick, Malin, and Lacking Toast against the 30th seed, Fine Clap, Rain or Something, Ficus, and Days Nova. And yeah, this is going to be another good game. I think the Magnificent Three, they are favored by 6 minutes 45 seconds. And I only know Lacking Toast here. Maybe some other names, but I only really know Lacking Toast, and I think the Magnificent Three is going to run away with this one. Fine Clap doesn't really look. I mean, they're 3 runners. I feel like I've definitely seen them lingering in a couple of servers, so they're little. I'm a little more familiar with those names, although I haven't really ever seen them run. So I'm guessing in the dark here, but so far. With the teams that we've gone through so far, I mean, the Magnificent Three is favored by the most with 6 minutes 45. That's kind of hard to beat. Although there is always a choke nerve in every single runner, and I definitely know back in the 1.14 tourney, round 1, me versus Lacking Toast, and I 2-0 him, and he doesn't even finish a single run. Obviously, a lot has changed since then, and he is playing a completely different version. He is playing pre 1.9, not 1.14. Man, I think this is just another match where I don't really know what's going to happen, and that's completely fine because, I mean, let's be honest, round one is a complete snooze fest. So I'm just going to go with the Magnificent Three. I think it's going to be a little bit closer of a game. I want to give Fine Clap the benefit of the doubt here. I think Fine Clap covers the 6 minutes. I think it's closer than that. But yeah, the Magnificent Three move on. The day after that, at exactly midnight UTC on the 26th, we have Team One. They are first seeded with Molly G, Feinberg Infume, and the 29th seed, Team W, with Crystal, Ismexian, and Solstice. I know there are plenty of memes about there were anyway about last relay about Team One with who was it? Curryway, Anthony, and Dylan. Those three runners were the top seeded in the previous relay, and they completely choked. They threw the entire game away. They threw their first game because Corway can't play 1.14. Let's be honest here. He's terrible in tournaments, at least those I've watched him in. And then he throws the second game as well. They go 2-and-out, and I don't think that's going to happen here. Obviously, they're different runners, but yeah, man. Oh, but they have Feinberg. Wow. Feinberg is like one of the best in tournament settings. Like he's just so consistent. Infume is very good. I always feel good about like the matchups where I know the names. So like I have actual information to go off of. I think Team One is incredibly strong. The thing is, I could say that like there's an upset here, but I mean, this team is so strong. I'm gonna go with Team One. Although I will say they are favored by 8 minutes and 15 seconds. I don't see that happening. I don't. I mean, even with a death on Team W's part, that's just 8 minutes. You have to do a lot wrong to lose by 18 minutes. Sorry, 8 minutes. It's not that far. Yeah, I think Team One wins, but Team W covers at 18 minutes, so it will be a much closer game. Then we have the same day at 16 o'clock UTC, the 10th seed, the Doubters, or the Omegalolubters, whichever way you want to say that, with Epnoc, Roy, Speed Nintendo, against the 18th seed, French Cocktail, Blide, containing Blide, Philocreep, and Nukusur. I hope that's how you say that. I'm just going off of whatever I think how you say it is. I remember Nukusur, I think his name sounds familiar. I remember he did some kind of pre 1.9 SSG stuff back in the day, and he is playing pre 1.9 here. So I imagine he's comfortable with that version, and I do think he is a great runner. But like 10th seed versus 18th seed, I mean, they're basically the same team. There's not really a whole lot of separation in terms of skill here. I think anyone can come away with it. Speed Nintendo definitely has a choke nerve. He did very mediocre in the previous one. I remember in the first game, our team went against his team. I choked with a 45-minute run, and we still beat them. And part of that was because Speed Nintendo could not triangulate for his life. And if that happens here, I think it's going to be very hard for Doubters to win. But I will note that Speed Nintendo is playing a different version. Obviously, he is, I'd like to imagine, right? He's a better runner now than he was before. And, I mean, he has a crazy time in this version, too. He has like a 20-something minute time, which is insane for pre 1.9. So I think as long as he gets his nerves in control, this is going to be a very close game. I can definitely see a lot of deaths happening, but as for this game, the Doubters are favored by about 3 minutes. I think that's pretty accurate. I'm going to take the Doubters here, but I think it's going to be the margin of victory is going to be less than 3 minutes, for sure. Again, I could be completely wrong. I'm probably wrong with all of these. Let's be honest. I did very minimum research before recording this because honestly, I don't have any time. Next game, the same day at 21:30 UTC on the 26th. By the way, if you forgot what day it is, the 13th seed, the only team with pants, obviously Paragon, CZ, and Ultimate Gamer Guy against the 22nd seed Cottage Builders with Jamie, Blob, and Ox Idiot. I know no one on the Cottage Builders team. I know kind of everyone on the Pants team except for Pants. Ironic enough, I love this team name, by the way. The only team with pants, which is technically correct, I guess. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just change your name to basically about anything right before the tournament starts, and then change the team name to the only team with X. And I'm not saying that's what they did here. I'm sure Pants thought of his name way before this. Speaking of which, what inspires you to name yourself Pants? Like, I mean, you have shorts. You have shorts. You have socks. You have shirt. I don't think anyone named themselves Shirt. Maybe Easy. That's a terrible name. So is Pants, though. I mean, God. I'm gonna go with Pants Team here. That's what I'm gonna call them, Pants Team. Paragon's very good at 1.14. Ultimate Gamer Guy is very good at his version, playing P1.9. Pants, I've literally never seen him play his version 1.16. But I mean, I know no one on Cottage Builders. But the funny thing is, the Cottage Builders are favored by 30 seconds. So technically, by seeding, they are the underdog, but they are somehow favored by 30 seconds, which means, I mean, I guess people really like that team. There's something about them that makes people want to root for them, and it's kind of driving me into it too. I like to root for underdogs, but I just don't see it happening for this game. I mean, I don't know. Pants Team looks like they could definitely choke a couple times. I know Ultimate Gamer Guy. Did he play in the last relay? I can't even remember. He might have, and if he did, I think he choked quite a bit. If I'll be honest, I think that's definitely the thing he did last time. I'm looking at the bracket now. None of these, I can't find him. Maybe he was there. Either way, I think they're going to. I think Pants Team is going to win. I think they're just the better team, but it's going to be close. Or will it? The Cottage Builders definitely could like die 5 times. Whatever. I'm taking Pants Team for that game. So next game we have. I'd spent way too long on that past game, by the way. That was anyway. 27th of February, 19 o'clock UTC. We have 14th seed Super Hot Fire with Danger 1451, Branson TSN, and Sprople against the 24th seed with Mate Gang, whatever you want to call it, and to Deferate and FedEx Cool. So these two teams have both played in the previous Minecraft Relay Cup. So these two teams are returning. So you got that element of chemistry. I like it. Famously, Mate Gang. Am I saying that correctly? I'll just say Mate Gang, like a complete idiot, like a bozo, because I don't want to. Anyway, Mate Gang famously dethroned Team 1 back in the first Minecraft Relay Cup, which is a complete crazy upset. I mean, they were literally the 32nd seed. They were the last seed, and they completely. Was it really that big of a destroyal? Did they beat them by that much? I don't remember, but Nate's Gang is a better team than they look on paper. They are not afraid of anyone, that's for sure. And I think with Super Hot Fire, there's definitely a lot of pro throwing in there. Branson Tinasen, pretty good at 1.14, but there's obviously a measure. What am I saying? Measure? There's definitely a nerve in him that wants to throw, and I think that also applies with everyone else on his team. I'm looking those 3 names: Danger, Branson, Sprople. None of them scream consistent to me. Just remembering from the previous tournament, although they somehow managed to like get pretty far. Last time, what is his name? Super Hot Fire. Looking in the bracket right now, they got all the way to losers round number 4, where they got defeated by the Nation. The Nation was not a good team back then. And I think it's definitely possible for them to get beaten by Mate Gang again. So I'm going with the upset. 24th seed wins. Now, Super Hot Fire are favored by about 230, but that doesn't scare me. I think Mate Gang definitely wins here. And that's all I have to say to that. On the same day, 2 hours later, my team, baby. A throwaway joke with Multipearl, DKEN, that's me, by the way, and Max against 28th seed Friendless with Crow Pro, Sammy MCSR, and Pix O'Neill. See, when you go to like make your name, like type it up in the account creation, why would you ever choose a name where you know that people are going to completely butcher it every single time? Yeah, I'm just gonna call you Pix from now on. But that confuses people because there is a Pix Fumi here in this tournament. So which Pix am I talking about? Do I have to spell your name out? It's got like three different weird vowel combinations I have no idea existed until I looked at your name. Regardless of roasting this poor guy, I don't know how I can stay unbiased here, considering this is literally my team that I'm talking about. But we are 30-second underdogs, which is crazy because it's a 7th seed versus 28. So that's what people think of us. They do not think we're going to win this game. We finished 5th place, I believe, in the last tournament, but it was not in a very pretty manner. I think every single, not every single, but like a lot of our games, none of us really played consistent except for Max. Max is literally the only person on our team who can play this game. By the way, all 3 of us are completely washed right now. None of us have really played our version in the past like 2 months. I mean, Max has been grinding AA. I've been doing nothing. Multipro has been watching anime for all of his life, and so if we lose, I'm not even going to be that surprised. But I do think like no matter how hard any of us screws up, Max always finds a way to like bring it back. And we have so many examples of this in the previous Minecraft Relay Cup. And so even like the fact that we are not even favored doesn't even scare me because I know we have Max and the other team does not. I'm going with we are going to win, okay? And we are going to cover that 30 seconds, buddy. Which means, by the way, that we beat them by more than 30. Anyway, on March the 4th, at 2100 UTC, we have Seed 4. We are a single instance with El Richie, whatever Marco, Galactic Afro against C26, Lelox with Javier Xman. Man, why would you people make these names? I can't even like Javi. I'm gonna call him X-Man because there's an XMON at the end of his name, and that's close enough for me. Fala and Real Pasho. So I have no idea who any of these runners are except for whatever Marco, which means I'm going to pick that team. And moving on. I'm kidding. I think We Are Single Instance definitely has a lot of strong runners. I think El Richie, that's a kind of a familiar name to me. I don't really know why, and he's playing 1.16, even though his name rings pre 1.9. But yeah, whatever Marco, pretty consistent tournament. He's playing 1.14, which is a different version, but he should be able to play well anyway. I think Lilox doesn't really stand a chance. I think if there's going to be a blowout, it's probably going to be by this team. They are favored by 7 minutes 15 seconds. I think it's going to be more than that. It might be more than that. So I'm going with whatever Marco's team by more than 7:15. On the next day, at 2 o'clock UTC, we have the 3rd seed, Adrift, with Maljack, Rakagan, Spinnaker, against the 31st seed, NDA, with Ybot, Draconics, and 4. Of all the games that have collected data, this game alone has the largest margin of victory. Adrift is favored by 9 minutes. That's like almost like half a run, which is insane. And I see why. Adrift looks like one of the, I'm gonna say here, that looks like one of the best, maybe the best team in the relay. Just off of straight like skill. I mean, Rakagan just is coming off of a win in MTM, which is the Minecraft Trading Mayhem tournament, which is crazy. I mean, you win one tournament, that just shows that you have what it takes to win another one. And to have that guy on your team, that's crazy. I mean, Rakagan's very good. Kind of strange that he only got his first like sub 25 in Classic like a month ago or a week ago. I don't remember. I thought he had one for like all this time, but apparently he didn't. And while he was practicing for 1.14 or something, he just got that run. Maljack is insane. Spinnaker is very good at 1.7. I think this is an incredibly stacked team. A lot of experience here. NDA just doesn't stand a chance. The only person I really know on NDA's team is four because they made perfect travel, and that's kind of it. I mean, I think Adrift wins. 9 minutes margin of victory, though, that's kind of harsh, I feel like. But I can definitely see it happening. I don't really know what to do here. I mean, okay, I'll say they win by 9 minutes or more. I'll just do it. I'm picking them. We have 4 games left to pick. Hopefully, you're still with me. I'm trying to go through them kind of fast because I also just don't have a lot to talk about. The third, no, yeah, the third month, which is March, fifth day, March 5th, 19 o'clock UTC. We have the 12th seeded team, Serious Dedication, with Busker Videos, Ready Band, and the Blazer, against the 19th seed, Team Delta, with Shy, Potato Whisk, and Frogs. So many of you might know that Serious Dedication is another one of those returning teams where all 3 players played on the same team in the previous Minecraft Relay Cup, and they did pretty well. They got to losers round 5, where they lost to How Did We Get Here. So they are a pretty well matched team, I think. Playing against Team Delta, I don't really know anyone here except for Frogs. Frogs is pretty good at 1.7, I believe. Last time I checked, anyway. But the other two, I mean, I don't really know where they're coming from, honestly. Usually, when I see like a couple players that I don't really know, that's usually a sign of like inexperience, which I think is a really like unfair measure. But I have nothing else to work off of. I mean, I don't know who Batata Whisk is. I've never seen them play. I mean, let's be real here. No one really plays Classic anymore, but I definitely haven't seen them play Classic. And kind of rushing just to prepare for like a Relay Cup is not really the easiest, considering like if you practice for something and then you get like good times with it on practice seats, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do well in the tournament because there's nerves, obviously, and you can just reset those practice seats at any time. And in relays, there's a lot of adversity, and it's kind of hard to practice. You can't practice your emotions in your brain with practice seeds. You just got to go through, tournament settings, or maybe just be crazy at it to begin with. And I think serious dedication with that connection between those three, um, they have a lot of good chemistry there. I think they win. They are favored by just 2 minutes, but I think it'll be more than that. It'll be more than 2 minutes for sure. And yeah, now on the same day, 2 hours later at 2100 UTC, we have the 8th seed Tri County Titanium Mothman with Xylonox, Curryway, and Illumina against the 27th seed Forcing CD with Adam Van Badam, 03K, and BTCMR123. What a mouthful. I think I know every single one of these people. I think Adam, okay, funny enough, fun fact, Adam was my 1000th subscriber. That's right. But you get zero favoritism here. I mean, you are gonna lose to this team. I'm sorry. Tri County Titanium Mothman. Yeah, they've got a stacked team and also a stacked name. I can't even say that correctly, even if I tried. Xylonox is very good. Held the world record at one point. Curryway held the world record at one point. Illumina held the world record at one point. On their respective versions as well, because Xylonox is playing 1.16, Curryway is playing 1.14, and then Illumina is playing through 1.9. So you have a lot of experience in that team. I think they're going to be really hard to beat. As for Xylonox, I know he's played in a lot of solo tournaments on a team tournament. I don't really know if he's played. He definitely hasn't played it in the previous Relay Cup, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a big deal. Lumina is very good at tournament settings. Curryway, not so much, but I think he's got a good enough team to back him up. Curryway hasn't really played his version that he's scheduled to play in like a really long time, and the last time he has, it was ocean runs. So I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag. I definitely can see them losing, but I mean, you have 2 other runners that have your back. So I think that they win. They are favored by kind of a lot, 6 minutes 15 seconds. I think the other team is good enough where that's not going to be it's something that happens. I think it's going to be closer than that. especially if someone throws on Tri County. I definitely see them coming back and beating, but like not by a lot. So I think that forcing CD does cover that 6 minutes. They make it closer, but they don't win the game. Now on the March 6th at 1400 UTC, seed 15 with Team Keck, which is seven roll, seven rowel. I don't know. Dimax, and the Talking Mime against 17th seed Fisherman with Crooks, GD Teffel, and Axeroth. I don't know anyone on the Fishermen. They were, I think they were favored for a little bit before Team Keck took over. Team Keck is favored by about 1 minute, which makes sense. I mean, this 15th seed versus 17th seed, these are like two very, in terms of seeing evenly matched teams. And I think in terms of skill, I guess I can only assume they're kind of the same. I only know Dimax, and the Talking Mime, really. The Talking Mime, very good at 1.16, but they're not playing that version. This time they're playing Poo 1.9. Dimax also held the classic world record at one point, so clearly he knows what he's doing. And I think Team Keck takes it away here. As for the margin of victory, I think it's going to be more than a minute. I mean, most Relay Cup games do not come down to a minute's difference anyway. So I think they're going to win by one more. Now, to our last game on the 6th of March at 16 o'clock UTC, we have the second seed, the new SSG community, with its Toffinator, Zach, and Teddy Ursa, against the last seed, 32, last but not least, Team Ireland with Karobo, Look, and Kai. I don't actually know any of these names except for Kai, but only because they were a verifier at one point, not as a runner. And they're playing 1.7, which is kind of a complex version and easy to screw up. Man, I mean, everything points to the SSG community winning here. They're favored by 3 points. 3 points. 3 minutes, which is not a whole lot, but man, I mean, this team is so stacked. Obviously, I don't really know any of the SSG communities runner here. By the way, when I say SSG community, that's the team name, new SSG community. I don't know much of the runners, but I mean to get second seed, you have to be like really great at the game, and I don't think I need to let my inactiveness and boomery tomfoolery get in the way of my predictions. I think whoever these runners are, they're clearly good enough to win a tournament. As for experience, I have no idea if they've played in much tournaments. I don't really know if that's going to be too much of a factor, at least when playing an easy team like this. I think they win, and they win by more than 3 minutes, because I definitely see someone like throwing here more than once, especially on Team Ireland. And yeah, I think that is all for 16 games, and that went by kind of fast, obviously, because I had no preparation, no research done. But I don't think there needs to be much anyway, because you can't predict anything that happens in this game or in this tournament to begin with. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of scuffness, but I'm excited to watch. I'm so glad it's already came. I can't even believe there was a second Relay Cup to begin with. And yeah, we will see you guys next time. I don't know if I'm going to go through each of these like one by one, like them meriting their own like episode. I think that's kind of a lot of work. And I don't even know if I'm going to watch all these games that closely, because I don't have enough time for that. But yeah, see you guys soon.